Welcome everyone to my very first Solo Leveling Arise tier list. So this is an April tier list with the release of Seorin, the water element best breaker now. She breaks so fast, she buffs the water team. But let's see how that affects her on the tier list and the water team itself. I have been playing this game for 219 days now. I am a little bit competitive. I wouldn't say I'm the best player in the world, but I'm just going to share with you what I use the most and what I think new accounts today would benefit from certain characters from this tier list. So this is all my opinion. I may upset people where I put some characters, but this is who I use every time I play, every week, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So let's get straight into it. Right, before we get into our all characters tier list, I want to do a teams tier list to get this out of the way. So if you're a new player, these are the teams that will be best for your account. I'm going to try to explain it really quickly, but I'll go in depth with the characters after I do this teams tier list. Now, this will consist of what they're used for in this patch currently and how good they will be for your account. Now, all these teams are great. It's just about their usefulness this patch. Now, in DT, I'm going to put the Dark team, which consists of Isla, Harper, and Charlotte. They are a great team. Isla's a great support. Harper's a great breaker. Charlotte's a great DPS. Unfortunately, they're only used for one part of content or two, Power of Destruction and against Baron, but there's a team better, and I'll explain why later. Unfortunately, the guild boss isn't weak to Dark. That's why they earn the last place. Now, in CT is going to be very controversial. They are a very strong team. But again, they suffer exactly what the Dark team is suffering at the moment, and that is the Light team. Now, I'm going to put Min and Akari there. They're both great supports for Thomas Andre and Gun Hee, but they suffer the same thing. The guild boss does not have an elemental weakness to Light, so therefore their usefulness is down. But again, you can use them in Workshop of Brilliant Light, Deimos, but there's another team that is better than them for that type of content. Now, here comes another controversial placement. The Light team being worse than the Water team for people's account at the moment. Now, we're going to put Alicia and our new hunter, Seorin, and we're going to put Meilin Fisher there. Why they BT is because they can actually be used in the guild boss now, and they can be used for the first part of the hard content, which is Vulcan. So if you pull this water team, they can get you through the Vulcan content early on in your account. Unfortunately, they're B because that's all they're good for at the moment. Just that piece of content and some of the story mode. But that's why I put them in the BT. Just because you can use them in the guild boss. So that can help your score. And because now guild boss has the ranking system, people are being more competitive. So having a water team may help get that higher score. In 80 is going to be the wind team with Mirei, Goto, and Hansemi. They are the best three for the wind team. Mirei's been the best DPS for the wind team for a very long time now. Goto jumps in as a really good breaker, buffs the third slot on any team anyway. But these three are amazing together, and they will get you through early and mid game. So you can use them for the first part of your account's history. It'll get you through Vulcan and Baron. So if you build a win team, you can use that for that content and Guild Boss and Power of Destruction. So, and all 3 units are also very, very good for what they do. And finally, this team has been absolutely amazing, and it's going to be Esil, Gina, and Kanae. Where's Kanae? There you go. These 3 absolutely destroy almost every content. So they're good for late game Deimos. You'll use them in the Guild Boss. Kanae at the moment is pumping out a shitload of damage in that fight, and Esil being a good breaker. They all work well together. So this is my element team tier list. You got fire in the S tier, wind A, water B, light C, and dark D. Let me know if you disagree with that, but unfortunately with the current content that we have available, the Guild Boss being weak to fire, wind, water, this is what I think are the most important teams for your account in this order. Let's move on to the actual individual tier list. Right, the controversial part of the video where I'm going to put some people in the places that people aren't going to like. Now, the reason why I'm going to put people in certain tiers is because these are the people that I don't use, the people that I use every single week, day, what makes my account easy to use and achieve what I want to achieve. Now, I've already placed the SRs here, even though Kim here gets used in Battlefield of Time. He's a great breaker support. Here we've used him. We've also used Dongsoo here before, but these, I don't use these people anymore. Even Nam here in the early Vulcan WOBL, if you don't have a breaker for water, she's a great breaker. But these we don't use anymore once your account gets built. Now, let's start off the people that I don't use at all. Now, again, if you have these characters, you can get through all the content in the game. For me, these characters underperform and I never even use them. And just letting everyone know, this is if your account's maxed out. If we were going to go by, if everyone's A1, A2, this will take forever. So what I'm going to do is, again, another dark unit, Silver Main, Beak Yoonho. He's dark. He's not the best dark unit in the game. I never use him at all now that I have my other dark units. Don't use him in any content whatsoever. Even though he's got a good buff, you can use him in Battlefield of Time. He does buff Seo Jiwoo if you have him as a support character, but there's better out there. Another one is, and I probably should have just started, we call him Dongpoo, even though it's Dongsoo. Don't use him. Even though wind is a weakness for the guild boss, like I mentioned before, he is, I do not use him at all. He's weak, doesn't do, there's plenty of people what he does, that do what he does better. I don't know if that made sense, but you know what I mean. And the light version of Beak Yoonho, great breaker, but again, there's better. Don't ever use him. He's got a great debuff, but I don't use him at all in this patch. Another dark unit, Lim. Just don't use him. He's a breaker. If you don't have any breakers, use him, but this patch, he does not get any love whatsoever. Now we go to some people that can be used this patch. Now, Guild Boss is still fresh for everyone. No one knows the meta, but I've seen people use Seo Jiwoo. Now, she's a great breaker. Before Seorin, she was our only water breaker that was SSR, and people used her in Battlefield of Time, but she might get a rise. This is, I was actually thinking about putting her A, but till I see where things go, she's going to stay B. Which brings to another unit that can be used in the guild boss, Woo. Unfortunately, he's been outclassed at the moment. He's lost his spot as the windbreaker, but again, we may use him because he does have some buffs that could help us in the future. But at the moment, I'm sticking him in B. He's great if you don't have any other windbreaker. Same with Seo Jiwoo, but I'm keeping them there right now. I don't use these are characters that I still don't use on a weekly basis at all. But I'm experimenting with Jiwoo at the moment, but I'm not sure. Maybe I haven't built her correctly. But at the moment, I'm sticking her there. Now, this is where the fun stuff happens. These are characters that I do use, but there's one that I actually don't use enough, but I may use them more. Now, well, I'm going to put Anna Ruiz here. Now, you're going to say an SSR beats all these SRs? Yes. Because now we need 2 teams for the guild boss, she applies that defense down. So she's very useful for that matter, and that makes her important because competitive people will use her, and that brings her value up. So that's why Anna Ruiz takes a spot in the 80. Next, this is where I'm going to get destroyed. Cha. She's great. Great DPS unit. She could be your main light unit. She gets outclassed by another light unit, but you can use her in Power of Destruction, Battlefield of Time, but unfortunately you can't use her for Guild Boss. Guild Boss isn't weak to light. There may be situations we can use her for the debuff. Like I said, Guild Boss is pretty fresh, so this tier list might change in the next week or next couple of weeks. But at the moment, I'm putting her in A. She's a great light unit. You can use her in the Encore Dungeons, Story Mode. She destroys even in Simulation. But because of the current patch, she puts in A. And while I am here, now, I'm just going to put all these units together. I'm going to put Akari. Don't kill me, anyone. I'm going to put Gun Hee and Thomas. Now, again, all these units are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing for what they do. These is my main light team. Thomas, Gun Hee, and Akari. But I only use them for my Encore. That's all I use, and Simulation. I might use Thomas Andre for some Battlefield of Time. And if it's a Hunter week for light for Battlefield of Time, obviously Gun Hee gets a great breaker for light. But unfortunately, that's all they're good for. Power of Destruction, Battlefield of Time, and Encore missions. They don't have a spot in the guild boss. The guild boss really hurt the light team. They're not the best team for Deimos, but you can use them. So at the moment, because of the guild boss, I'm sticking the light team in A. Now, that's all we're going to use for the A side of things. Now, the way I place these, I am placing them in order of, except the SRs. A little bit. The SRs I sort of did quickly. These three for me, or even four. Park we can use in simulation for the alt code. But yeah, these four are important. The rest are meh. But I'm trying to put these in order from best to worst. Some people may argue that Gun Hee is more important than Thomas, but at the moment, Akari buffs Seo Jiwoo pretty well as well with her buffs. So, but yeah, these are very good units. Just because they're in A, do not ride them off. Right, Lee Bora. Great debuffer. We've seen her used in the guild boss. That debuff she puts up is incredible for everyone. She's used in Power of Destruction, Battlefield of Time. She's a great unit. Great debuffer. You cannot fault Lee Bora. She's had a spot on guild boss for a very long time. I'm not sure if she'll keep it. I used her last week for the guild boss. I've seen a lot of people use it. She may lose her spot though. But this week, I'm putting her in S. Now you're saying, oh, but guild boss isn't weak too, but people are still using her. And I use her every week. Like I said, she may lose. If she loses the spot in guild boss, she'll probably be here. She'll probably get put here. But until then, she stays there. Okay, now Harper and Charlotte. Where are they? I'm going to put them in S at the moment. Now, Charlotte I use every week. There's some Battlefield of Time that I use her to get to places quick. And that cuts my time a lot. A lot of people don't use her for that. But using her for that has got me first spot on my server. I'm not a mechanical genius. Like I've seen some people run bot Battlefield of Time so great without Charlotte. And I know she's not useful, but she makes my account. It's easy for me. Some people, if I verse someone that doesn't have the Charlotte on their account and I use Charlotte to get from point A to B fast, she just cuts the time. You know what? I might put her here just for that. But Harper, now, people use her in Battlefield of Time to actually speed run it with her basic attack cancel, and that pushes her forward. She's way faster than Charlotte if you do it properly. There's some people that do it. Go watch the pros do Battlefield of Time. You'll see people use Harper to speed run through dungeons really, really fast, and that's the only reason she gets this pick, because if she didn't have that, she'd probably be down here. If these two didn't have that, they'd probably be down here. They're great units, but they're only useful for Power of Destruction and Battlefield of Time. And the reason why they're better than the light team is because they get you those extra rewards. So, and I feel like they do more in Battlefield of Time than the light team. Next, I'm going to put Emma. Now, Emma, I use in Battlefield of Time every single week. Great AoE, and she might even have a spot on the guild boss. I'm experimenting. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I use her every week. AoE gets me those fast runs in the Battlefield of Time. And yeah, that's what you use. That's all I've used her for a very long time. She may have earned a new spot in the guild boss with on the fire team that I'm experimenting and I've seen people use. But yeah, she use her every single week. Battlefield of Time. Right, next. Since you've been hearing me talk about Battlefield of Time, these are the units that I'm putting next in front of Emma. Alicia's always been a Battlefield of Time queen. She has that great AoE, fast burst for the bosses, and so does Seorin. She has absolutely amazing break AoE. They do absolutely amazing in Battlefield of Time. Alicia, I don't use in Power of Destruction for the water, but if you have no one else, again, she'll be great for Power of Destruction for your water DPS if you're lacking units. And she's useful in that early part of the game where you need water for Vulcan if you don't have any wind DPS and you're very unlucky with your draws. Next is I'm going to put Choi. Choi gets used every week. Power of Destruction, still has a spot on Guild Boss. Can use him for simulation if you want. If you use him with Curse and Obsidian set, he does decent damage. People have used him, but he's not the best damage for fire, but I use him every week. So he's got the spot on the Guild Boss. He's a competitive unit. Is he a priority? I wouldn't put him as a priority, but if you want to earn a good score on the Guild Boss, he's always a must with his defense down and his weapon. Next is Hansemi. Now, again, we're talking about Workshop of Brilliant Light, the main support for that team, and has a spot on the Guild Boss because of her AoE and Immortality field and mana regen. So she also does great in bot. She does great AoE for Battlefield of Time. So don't count her out. She's a great unit for that as well. And since we're talking about Wind Team, let's bring out Goto and Mirei. Yes, Mirei and Goto earned the ST spot this week or this month. Goto does good in Battlefield of Time, and Guild Boss, there is a win. The Guild Boss is weak to wind, so you can put them there as the core wind team that will do the damage, and Goto does the break, buffs the team, so they're great. Goto does great in Battlefield of Time. Power of Destruction, the wind team does great. It's a great patch for the wind team. I recommend everyone that starts a new account to draw for a win team to get them through the Vulcan and Baron. And now that they're useful in the Guild Boss, it earns them that spot in the ST. Now my next unit is going to be Sohyuin. She is going to be in the ST. I was thinking about putting her in SS, but I'm going to put her here. She is an absolute beast of a unit with a full fire team. But that's why I've put her there. I don't use her in Power of Destruction. She's great. She's great, but she doesn't get the main spot on my fire team because of obvious reasons coming up soon. But yeah, she's great in Guild Boss at the moment. She's great in Power of Destruction. I use her in Battlefield Time. For stages where she just snipes and I don't have to walk up to the boss. She's got that range to cut the time. But yeah, that's why I use her every week. Battlefield Time. WOBL, if you don't have anyone else, she's great for the first boss. And Power of Destruction, Simulation, you could even use her. So she's got a lot of uses. Now, here's one that no one saw coming. Min. Min is an all-rounder. He's a great buffer for Seo Jiwoo, for everyone else. You can stick him on any team as a support and he will buff every single white person. That's why I'm going to put him as S, because I personally don't use him enough. I'm starting to use him enough, but he can replace almost every support in this tier to buff. He can buff any team. I was even considering putting him up here, but you can use him in Guild Boss. But other than that, I would not use him anywhere else. You can use him in Battlefield of Time as well. But yeah, he's a great support. Don't count him out. The reason why he's better than Akari is because Akari only really buffs the light team. So he buffs everyone. He's got his debuff and his passives from his ascensions as well. Now for the juicy part of the video. I'm going to start off with the two supports. Isla and Meilin Fisher. For any Seo Jiwoo content, they're my supports. I take them everywhere. No matter where, they're my favorite support. One with Blessing, one with Guardian. You can't go wrong. That I take them everywhere. Is pulling a Meilin Fisher better than pulling a Mirei at the start? No. This isn't about what units you should summon in order. This is what is best for my account, I think. I don't know if it's better for your account. You might have a different experience, but I think that these two are the best supports for Seo Jiwoo content. You can use Meilin Fisher to buff the water units in the guild boss, so that can help you there. Unfortunately, Isla doesn't buff them as well, the wind and water, as Hansemi and Meilin Fisher would. So, but yes, you could. These two, I use them everywhere in every content for Seo Jiwoo, for instance missions, for Workshop of Brilliant Light, and Battlefield of Time if it is a Seo Jiwoo day for that. And last but not least is the Fire team. Now they are SS tier compared to the Wind and Water, even though it is their guild boss weakness is the same. These three are absolutely amazing. They make simulation so easy. They Empower of Destruction even on days that it isn't their weakness. They can pull really high scores. It's insane. It's insane. The debuff Esil does and Kanae's power is insane. I don't use them for Battlefield of Time enough, I don't think, but you use them for Workshop of Brilliant Light. They destroy the Deimos mode. Now with the new Shadow Ice Queen, they have that penetration that they didn't have before. But yes, they are the best team to have at the moment for endgame. But there you have it, guys. Now, if you came to this part of the video straight away, please go check out the whole video. I'd go into depth of why people are in their position in the tier list. I have an A10 and an A10 Gun Hee and Thomas Andre. It makes me cry that I have to put them there. I fell for the Thomas Andre hype. But yeah, guys, please go check out the video of why I put them there. There's a reason. This isn't what you should summon straight away. I have a totally different opinion on that. But yeah, guys, this is the tier list for April. It will probably change in the next couple of weeks with the guild boss meta. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please go easy on me. It is my first tier list. I just wanted to share what I use every week and what I think is useful this current patch. I know Thomas Andre is amazingly strong. It's just my use for him at the moment. So, guys, if you do enjoy this video, give this video a like, subscribe, and yeah, please let me know in the comments if I did waffle on too much. Do you want examples of why I put people there? Please, I respond to everyone, so leave a comment. And if you want to support me, I am a creator for this program. I'll leave a link in the description and in the comments. And I want to thank my 3 supporters, Tactical Bumblebee, Fiona, and Doodoo. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the support. And if anyone wants to see me live, I stream on YouTube and Twitch. So I stream 4 days a week. So you can ask me any questions there about the game. If I'm happy to help with anything, guys. So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.